Hello everyone and welcome to another Fleet Signal video. My name is Alex and today I'm going to talk about Hawk Widgets. Now, when you want to put a Firestorm Armada miniature onto a base so you can, play with it, there are a few different options. One of these, and probably the most common, is to simply get your base, get your stem, glue the stem to the base, and then glue the miniature to the other end of the flight stem. Another option is to, again, glue the stem to the base, but this time don't glue the miniature to the top of the stem. Simply take your miniature, in this case this Directorate frigate that I haven't painted yet, put the stem onto the miniature, into the hole, and as you can see it holds for smaller ships like this, but for larger ships it doesn't hold all that well, and if somebody comes along and bumps the table, then you might be in some trouble there. Another option is to use magnets. Now these are 3mm in diameter. A lot of hobby shops have started to sell these magnets in recent years, so you should be able to find them quite easily. And yeah, what you do is you get one of these magnets, and as you can see it fits into the hole. So you get a magnet, you glue it into the hole there, and then you get, instead of a normal flight stem, you get like a piece of 3mm steel rod, again 3mm in diameter, and the steel rod substitutes for the flight stem. You glue the steel rod into the base, and that way you can magnetize your ships. The problem with magnets though is that sometimes they will tend to make the mini spin on the on the steel rod or whatever you're using. I think some people use brass rod as well. So the mini will tend to spin around because it's not actually glued on. It's just a magnet, and it's just a magnet steel rod, and it's magnetization. The option I'm going to talk about today though is Hawk Widgets. Now I discovered these last year, and I've been using them ever since for my Firestorm Armada miniatures because I think they're really good. So I'm going to open this and show you what some of these look like. As you can see, I have been using some of these for my miniatures, so this isn't a full sprue of widgets. And what these basically are is, I'll rip one off and I will show you under a zoomed in camera. Okay, so this is a Hawk Widget. As you can see, it's got a hole there for the flight stem on one end, and it's got a little kind of peg thing, I suppose, on the other end. And all you do is you put some glue onto the peg, and then you glue it into your miniature like that, and then you leave it to dry. And I would recommend that you leave at least 24 hours between gluing the widget into the miniature and actually going and playing with the miniature, because you don't want to be at the game store, take your stem out of the miniature, out of the widget, and then the whole widget comes out as well. I've had that happen to me before, so nowadays I leave at least a day before playing with the miniature when I glue my widgets in. And I'm going to show you a glued in miniature. You might remember this this Aquan Destroyer from the Jesser video, and as you can see I've used a Hawk Widget here, and I've used one on the base as well. Now this one I glued in some time ago, and the reason why it's gone yellow is because I used 2-part epoxy, which goes yellow when you use them, when you use it in this way. So I would recommend using super glue instead. You can use epoxy, 2-part epoxy, but I would recommend then like painting over the base, like painting it black or something, to hide the yellowing, the eventual yellowing that will occur. So as you can see, I can simply take the stem out of the base, and then I can take the stem out of the miniature, and I can go and store this. I can store these in a bag, which is what I do actually. I store them in a little bag that I have in my miniatures case, and I can then, instead of having to make space for the miniature inside my foam, instead I can just put the miniature either flat, I can put it on its side, I can store it in lots of different ways without having to account for the for the base. And then when I get to the game store, I simply fix this back on like that, put the stem on the base like that, and then go and play. Now, one thing I should mention about the stems when you're using Hawk Widgets is that most of the time, not all the time actually, but most of the time, you're going to have to use some sandpaper and sand off the ends of the flight stems, so that the stems will actually fit into the Hawk widgets. Because a lot of the time the stems won't actually fit into the widgets; they'll be just a little bit too big. So all you do is get some sandpaper, sand down the flight stem just a little bit on each end, and then it will go directly into the widget. Okay, so that was a look at Hawk widgets, which are made by Hawk Wargames, and were originally made for Drop Zone Commander, but as you've seen in this video, they can easily be used for Firestorm Armada as well, and also for Firestorm Planetfall, because a lot of Planetfall models use flying bases, so you can use widgets for some Planetfall models as well. So yeah, leave a like or dislike depending on how you felt about this video, and be sure to subscribe as well, so you stay updated with further videos that will appear on this channel. And also don't forget to check out Fleet Signal on social media, and also fleetsignal.com as well. Okay, I think that's it for this video. Until the next one, see ya!